over. And so, well, hang on. Let me turn off the. Can I turn off the Kahoot music? Okay, wait. Adjust volume. There we go. Music. Well, it was on the YouTube live. Oh, it says you left the Kahoot, Emily. I don't know what happened there.
Because I got on WhatsApp. Hold on. Okay.
Oh. Life is crazy. We're trying to do way too much at once. Let's see.
Our horse back.
Horse is back. All right. So before we talk Dover or before we talk Kansas, we are going to be doing a NASCAR trivia Kahoot. Now, y'all won't be physically seeing it, but I will be reading out the questions. I'll have the music on. So if you haven't done Kahoot before, it's kind of Jeopardy, but with a stronger time limit. It's like an online game. You probably done it in school. At least if you haven't done it in school, then you're not going to the right school, in my opinion.
It's just online trivia for everyone. You can create your own.
It is. So before we recap Dover, before we preview Kansas, before we talk the big Jimmy Johnson news and the big Austin Dillon news, we are going to play a little Kahoot. Now, my sister's in here, Emily's in here, I'm in here. So I believe it's only 3 players. It might only be 2. I created it. I have no idea. I have no idea what is about to happen. But we are going to go ahead and start up this Kahoot. I'm going to turn the music back on. Your ears are not, y'all's ears are not going to like this. So maybe just turn the earphones down or whatever. But here we go. We are starting the Kahoot. It's 8 questions.
Ready to go.
It's 8 questions. Some of them they're random NASCAR questions. My sister's not going to know any of these. Emily might know a few, and I'll probably know them all because I basically cheated because I made the thing.
That's why I said I needed to create this.
You can create it for our next episode, but I did want to go ahead and just kind of do one. So we're going to go ahead and start. There we go. Kahoot at home. All right. BTYL Kahoot number 1. I'll be posting the pins in my community tab on YouTube so y'all can see all these in the future. Question number 1, what was Denny Hamlin's rookie year? Was it 2006, 2010, 2004, or 2008? I'm going to make this fair. I'm going to go around the diamond twice with these and just pick whatever answer.
I have these choices.
Yes, and you have 3 seconds.
No, but which one is which?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the correct answer.
No, but I can't see what year is which answer.
Oh, can you not? Oh.
No.
I might have messed this Kahoot up.
Shapes.
You just have shapes?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I don't know what I did wrong.
Which one is which? Is it go A, B, C, D?
Yeah. I'll read them off in the in the color order. I'm sorry. I don't. This is not gotten off to a great start.
We're figuring it out. It's okay. It's fine. I just wanted to get it up.
Yeah, I hope my sister's watching the live stream because if she's not, then she's not gonna know anything, or she'll just click random buttons. True or false? Denny Hamlin has won a NASCAR Cup Series championship. True is the blue diamond. False is the red tri. Okay, well, yeah, you got that. You got that one, Emily. I put that one in there. Susanna got it too. You put that one in there. I mean, I'm sorry. I had to do it. The chance was there. So
you knew I knew that answer too.
My sister is leading with 931. Emily with 915.
Because I knew the answer and I tried to.
Question 3. What track did Denny Hamlin get his first win at? The red triangle is Daytona, the blue diamond, Talladega, the yellow circle is Pocono, and the green square is Martinsville. All right, somebody got it right. Somebody did not. Let's see.
Yeah. Did she cheat?
She might be using the auto answer. My sister got it right, and she never watches NASCAR. It was Pocono. What did you pick, Emily?
I picked Martinsville.
You picked Martinsville? Okay, that's one of his home tracks. It makes sense.
Home track. That was kind of what I was going with.
Yeah. But it was Pocono. In 2006, he got his first career win at Pocono. He actually swept Pocono that year, and I believe he leads there with 6 Pocono victories. Question number 4. What year was NASCAR founded? Was it 1949, 1948, 1960, or 1955? 49's red, and oh, wow, okay. Who got that right?
Susanna.
Okay, she's definitely, wait. Okay, nothing popped up.
With how fast she answered the Diddy one, it had to go like that.
Yeah, it's got to be like a robot doing it or something. Question number 5. What year was the inaugural Daytona 500 held? Red is 1972, blue is 1949, yellow is 1961, green is 1959. Okay, neither of y'all got that one. It was 1959.
You didn't get it that.
Won by Lee Petty. Which one did you choose, Emily?
The first one.
You chose 1972? Yeah. Close-ish, but no cigar. I believe Richard Petty won that one, if I'm not mistaken, but Lee Petty won the inaugural one. Question 6 of 8. How many NASCAR Cup Series championships has Kyle Busch won? Is it red 1, blue 4, yellow 3, or green 2? It was green 2. What did you pick?
1.
You picked 1. He is actually one.
Wasn't an option.
He is actually won 2. 2015 and 2019 are Kyle Busch's 2 NASCAR Cup Series championships.
So stupid.
Yeah, scoreboard is pretty much, you gotta probably get both these, and she, I believe, has to get them both wrong here. Question 7 of 8. Who won the first NASCAR Cup Series title? Was it Lee Petty with the red color, Ralph Earnhardt in the blue, Red Byron in the yellow, or Rex White in the green? And it was Red Byron. Wait, who did you pick?
Lee Petty.
Oh, you picked Lee. It was actually Red Byron. My sister is or her robot is destroying you in this. It was Red Byron. If I could
How
interview,
do I get this robot?
I don't know how you defeat this robot. If there's one driver in NASCAR history I would love to interview, it would probably be Red Byron. I made a movie about him at Christmas. He was a World War II veteran, got his left leg blown off, basically, had to use a really funky brace to attach it to the clutch. And yeah, he went out there and won the first NASCAR Cup Series championship. So basically, like one of the great American icons, or should be one of the great American icons. Fantastic man, great driver, and NASCAR's first champion. Last question. Only NASCAR driver to get kicked out of an Applebee's. Is it the red triangle, Ricky Bobby, the blue diamond, Mike Harmon, the yellow circle of Dick Trickle, or the green square of David Pearson? And yes, these are all real people. It was Mike Harmon, and neither of y'all got that one right. Y'all both chose.
The only NASCAR trivia I know is that Denny Hamlin has never won a championship.
It seems that way, yes. Ricky Bobby did get thrown out of one in a movie, but Mike Harmon, who doesn't at all look like a NASCAR driver, actually legit got thrown out of an Applebee's. I believe it was because of public urination inside said Applebee's, and he's also been arrested a couple of other times. So, yeah. That is really it for NASCAR trivia. Feel free. I'll post the pins, like I said, in the community tab. That's like a 10-minute segment to open the show. We haven't even gotten serious yet, but we are going to talk Dover next. Going to recap the Monster Mile. What it says, Susanna was third. Emily was second. Who won? Wait. Did somebody join in? Who won? Oh, Susanna had 2 of them. Okay. Susanna, okay.
That's
never mind.
Cheating.
Yeah, it basically is. We're going to take we're going to finish up here with Kahoot. Kahoot's done. Emily got her butt whipped. Now we're going to recap Dover. That was the weirdest Kahoot ever. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
I'm just angry.
You're just angry?
Yes. Also, I just rotated.
Oop. All right. Now time to recap Dover. The Monster Mile, though run on a Monday, provided what I thought was a pretty good race. Now, because Emily actually has a job and a life, she wasn't able to watch it. I watched the whole thing.
I literally know nothing.
You know nothing about what happened? Well, I do know.
You sent me text, but I was at work, so honestly, I read them, but I didn't comprehend.
Susanna just said in our family chat, "How did I win when I was guessing randomly without seeing the questions? LOL." So she couldn't see the answers. Oh my goodness, that Kahoot was a whole mess of a Kahoot. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, if you like random 10-minute segments of terrible trivia, well, there you go. But looking at the Dover race, Martin Truex Jr. breaks a 54-race winless streak, locking himself into the playoffs, getting career win 32, and maybe even with that win, extending his career by a year or 2. Emily, I know you didn't get to see it, but I mean, I thought it was a very good race. Martin Truex had to fend off. Martin Truex Jr., yeah.
But did Chastain almost win?
Chastain was second, yeah. Chastain, well, he was involved in some other controversy.
So.
Yeah. He did some other stuff as well. I know. But Martin Truex Jr. gets the win, breaking a winless streak, locking himself into the playoffs. His first win since September 11th, 2021 at Richmond. Emily, the last time Martin Truex Jr. won a race, I had not moved to Washington, D.C., putting that in perspective as my family can understand in terms of length of time that has passed. That has been a long time. Until Sunday, that was the last time that Martin Truex won a NASCAR Cup race.
He's feeling good.
Yeah, like he should. He did win the Clash this year, but not a points race. Doesn't necessarily count. And he'd been all right through the first bit of the season, but not great. Not Martin Truex standards. Also a cool win because his brother Ryan Truex won his first NASCAR race on Saturday in the Xfinity Series. So a Truex weekend at their home track. Great win for him. What do you think the win does for him, Emily? Obviously a huge boost. When you're a guy like him, a champion, but probably thinking, okay, am I really cut out to still do this? Long winless streak. What do you think this does for Martin Truex Jr.?
Oh, yeah, so much mentally, just as one, he's lost into the playoffs, so he's got that confidence in the season now, but also, for him to know that he can still do it. Yeah, just a winless streak is coming from a Denny fan, a little rough.
It is sometimes. As a Junior fan, I second that thought. There were some rough. Thankfully, when I was a fan, there weren't too many rough years, but 2016 and 2017 were pretty rough. Long losing streaks are not fun, and Martin Truex Jr. breaking that one for him, I know, a huge deal. Now, we might as well get this out of the way since we're going to talk about Ross Chastain. He wrecked Brennan Poole. So the situation here, Emily, Larson and Chastain, they're battling for fourth place. Brennan Poole in a lap car running his first Cup race since 2020. Chastain, he wants to get up side by side with Larson. Brennan Poole kind of in the way. So Ross Chastain on lap 80 of 400, like a fifth of the way through this race, just dumps Brennan Poole.
Approved.
Brennan Poole goes up the track. Kyle Larson has nowhere to go. Kyle Larson gets wrecked. Brennan Poole in his interview says Ross Chastain needs to get his butt whooped. Kyle Larson says a bunch of things that I cannot repeat, and says that it's way too early in the race to be doing stuff like that, which I completely agree with.
But to that,
stupid
I say
move.
If it's appropriate later in the race, why isn't it appropriate at any time?
Well, just because there's no need to have a sense of urgency in that situation. I mean, it's lap 80. You're going to get around the guy eventually. It doesn't have much bearing on anything else in the race. If Chastain can't get around Brennan Poole for 2 or 3 laps, I mean, it's not going to. It might cost him a stage point or two, but that's really not going to do much at this point. Maybe in the playoffs, yes, maybe I can see why he would have that urgency early in the race. But to me, it's just another case of Ross Chastaining. He said he's going to do better. He said he's going to apologize. No, he's not. He's been saying the same thing since Gateway last summer. Ross Chastain is not going to change anytime soon. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, all with solid runs. William Byron dominated this race early. Denny Hamlin looked like he could be a contender for the win late. Denny, yeah, he was 5th.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. Byron dominated early, kind of faded late. Byron won stage 1, Chastain won stage 2. The big battle late was between Truex and Chastain. They were navigating their way through lap traffic. Larson held Chastain up a big ways. It looked like we were going to get a great natural battle between Chastain and Truex, but because every NASCAR Cup Series race nowadays seemingly has to end on a crazy restart, Joey Logano decided to just go ahead and make his terrible day even terribler and crash in turns 3 and 4. We have a restart. Truex decided to take 2 tires on the final pit stop. Chastain took 4, but Chastain lost a position. It was Blaney versus Truex on the restart. Truex got away from Blaney. Chastain got around Blaney, but Chastain just didn't have anything for Martin Truex, and Martin Truex took the win. We have a full Dover recap episode out already on Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, all major podcast platforms. So you can go listen to that if you want the full story of what happened Monday at Dover. And now, I guess, before we preview Kansas, we can go ahead and move into the news stories. And I don't think you've seen this yet, Emily.
I can't wait because I don't know what's happening.
I didn't even bother to text you about it. The first one is kind of minor. Austin Dillon, he got a 60-point penalty at the end or after Richmond dropped him to like 30th in the points. He's in a must-win. He was going to be in a must-win anyway. Doesn't matter too much. But the second story is huge.
Okay.
The second story, I had to take a pause there. Second story involves invoke dramatic pause. The second story involves Jimmy Johnson. So he took an ownership stake in Legacy Motor Club, formerly known as Richard Petty Motorsports, this off-season, and he's been trying to change things up. He's been trying, kind of to me, like Trackhouse Racing, not necessarily as much as Trackhouse, but kind of to be like trendy-ish, be the new thing. And the new thing for Jimmy Johnson, who won 7 championships, 83 NASCAR Cup Series races, and made an argument for himself to be the greatest NASCAR Cup Series driver of all time with Chevrolet, announces that the team that he co-owns and that has been with Chevrolet since 2018, next year in 2024, will be moving to Toyota. Legacy Motor Club.
Toyota, baby.
Legacy Motor Club.
He was my man. I knew he was my man.
Legacy Motor Club is switching over to Toyota for 2024 and beyond. It's going to be weird if Jimmy does run a race next year, next few years. I assume he will want to run a race, that he'll be in a Toyota, not a Chevy, because I think he ran Ford during his 1 or 2 Busch Series seasons, but he ran Chevy the entirety of his Cup career, all 19 years. It's going to be kind of weird. But both drivers at Legacy Motor Club right now, Eric Jones, Noah Gregson, they've ran for Toyota in the past. I believe, they're probably going to stay. I wonder what Richard Petty feels about this. He said that Jimmy Johnson was kind of making a lot of changes. He didn't love all of them. Richard Petty hasn't necessarily.
It wouldn't have been just Jimmy's decision, right?
Yeah, I'm
sure a lot went into this.
Yeah, it's not something that happened overnight. Another big stakeholder on that team is mega rich man Morty Gallagher, who's he owns a Truck Series team. I do wonder now how, because that truck team runs Chevys. They seem pretty committed to Chevy. I don't know how much their Cup operation will affect their truck team, but it will be interesting to me how much stake was Jimmy Johnson having in this decision, how much of it was Morty Gallagher. Richard Petty is kind of just there as a figurehead now. He's kind of like the King of England. He's not there to do much except for smile for photos, sign autographs, and wave. That doesn't sound like he's making many decisions. I don't know how much authority he has over there, at least in the office. But what do you think about this? It's a shit toy. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I mix up my words all the time. Toyota now, they've really only had 2 competitive teams for a while, or not for a while, but 2311, JGR, those are their teams. Ford, they have Penske, they have Stewart-Haas Racing, and then they have a team like Front Row, a smaller team. Chevrolet has Hendrick. Chevrolet has Colleague. They have RCR. They have JTG Doherty. They have a lot of teams under their umbrella. Toyota really only has 2.
Is this the up-and-coming Toyota year?
It may be. That's going to be huge, especially at super speed races when they don't have the numbers.
And all the Camry sales.
Oh my goodness.
They're already through the roof.
I'm sure they are.
Minivan, all these NASCAR bums going to want the Sienna.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Anyway. 2024. Legacy Motor Club moving to Toyota. I believe that's really all we have as far as news goes. So now we're going to preview this weekend's Advent Health 400 at Kansas. Moving on to Kansas, the Sunshine State, which I thought it's the Sunflower State. My bad. I called it the Sunshine State Florida. The other night. It's the Sunflower State. Kansas, the land of sunflowers, racetracks, and having a casino right next to your racetrack, because why the heck not? You're Kansas. No, you're a flyover state. Anyway, They actually have to pronounce their name Kansas now, though, because the Arkansas Razorbacks have kicked their butt in every sport. So it's Kansas, not Kansas. It actually is Kansas. This is going off the rails. Anyway, going to Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. So not on the Missouri side. It is on the Kansas side for the Advent Health 400. Kurt Busch won this race a year ago in the fall last year, which y'all can go watch stat tracking on the Spotter Stand YouTube channel to see who was up front the last time he went to Kansas. Bubba Wallace held off Denny Hamlin to get his second career NASCAR Cup Series victory. 2311 Racing and moreover the 45 car last year swept Kansas. They won both Kansas races. They were really, really good there last year. And I mean, Tyler Reddick is a driver that's really done well at Kansas the first few years. If there's three guys, though, that I would look out for this weekend, if I had to pick three guys that I would say, okay, these guys are going to be the three that run top five at Kansas: Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace. Larson nearly had the 2021 spring race, nearly had the 2022 spring race, did win the 2021 fall race at Kansas. So it's been very good to him. Looking at Wallace, I mean, 10th last year here in the spring, probably should have been a top five until he had a pit crew penalty. Won in the fall. Reddick, he's had a multitude of issues here. Looking at the weekend schedule, practice is at 5 p.m. Eastern, FS1 and MRN, qualifying at 5:50 Eastern, FS1 MRN. So about 40-ish minutes of practice. Oh, I don't know what happened to Emily there. Let's see, she is gone. But anyway, going back to Kansas. Going to be a fun weekend. I don't know what the weather there is entailing. Let me actually look that up here. Weather, Kansas Speedway. Hopefully we won't have to run on a Monday again. I think the last time I looked at it, it was pretty solid. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. It's projected to be raining on Sunday. That's really unfortunate. That's really, really unfortunate. Oh, you're back. Okay.
I'm back.
I don't know what happened there.
That was actually me that lost connection.
Yes, it wasn't me. Well, Poopa has better Wi-Fi than my house.
Isn't that impressive?
Yeah. Well, it's not much of a feat considering our Cersei Wi-Fi is trash. But anyway.
Oh, it's literally trash.
So talking about Kansas here, Emily, we lost you for a second, but I don't think you missed anything really important. I did say like my top three guys though that I would have like in the top five, like almost guaranteed, as guaranteed as you can get for NASCAR races, all the crazy stuff that goes on within it would be Reddick, Bubba, and Larson. I think Denny can be up there, obviously. If Bowman was in the race, if he wasn't out with a back injury, which, by the way, props to Josh Berry finishing 10th this past weekend and maybe getting the Cup ride. I know. And he may be replacing Kevin Harvick next year. We're not going to talk about that tonight because I don't feel there's enough substance to it to discuss it, but may well be happening. But the weather at Kansas Speedway, guess what? It's fantastic all week. Mid-70s gets up to 88 Saturday, so the truck race Saturday night should go off without a hitch. But it's scheduled to rain right now on both Sunday and Monday. And I know this is a Wednesday night. We're still a ways out. But you wouldn't get to race until Tuesday at that point, which I know. I mean, we'll see. I'm looking at AccuWeather. We'll see if we can see anything. Friday for the pre-race podcast.
Here in Oklahoma land, it's like about to rain for the next forever.
Yeah, so. Friday. Let's see here. I would not want to hold a race on a Tuesday. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. Come on, AccuWeather. After we look at the weather advance, we'll look at the standings, and then I think we'll be done for the night. Weather-wise, let's see. I love AccuWeather. It's so funny. So today on Wednesday it says sunshine and delightful. Tomorrow it's a shower and a thunderstorm. Low clouds on Friday. These are just like their baseline descriptions, kinda. Saturday, warmer with clouds and sun. Sunday, a T-storm in the PM. And guess what? In NASCAR, we race in the PM. Monday is a T-storm in the afternoon. Guess what? In NASCAR, we race in the afternoon. Only a 40% chance of rain Sunday, 63 on Monday. And then Tuesday, it says a couple of thunderstorms. Wednesday, it says mostly sunny with a T-storm. Thunderstorms until next Saturday. I think we can get this race done on Sunday. Looking at it now, only a 40% chance of rain. It doesn't look that bad, which is good. But I guess before we go, I guess we should probably look at these standings. Before we do look at the standings, so I do want to remind y'all where you can find us. We are here, obviously, wherever you're listening, we're there.